How's it going, important people? As mentioned in the last video, we've been working on a crazy Kashtira DM deck, and it is crazy, let's just say. This deck actually has a ton of potential. I think we are just hitting the tip of the iceberg with it. I'm going to go over the deck. I've been actually cruising through Diamond with it. I'm in Diamond 1 currently. I've built all the way up from Diamond 5 to Diamond 1 with this deck. So it does have a lot of potential. I'm going to go over the deck later on in the video. Let me show you guys some plays that I make with it. So this deck has a lot of good things that go for it. A lot of things really up the just synergy that this deck has. Being able to spam out level 7s between Magician Souls, Soul Servant to go into Mahad. Also, there are some things that clash. With that being said, that does hurt the consistency of the deck. I will say it's more consistent than some people may think. However, it's not the most consistent deck. These duels were done in Diamond. So, as you saw, my Fenrir got stopped there. Okay, but we were able to quickly pivot and use Magician Soul, summon DM, summon out Ash. Now I have an Omni Negate, now I have a Disruption in Fenrir, and I also have an Ash in hand. So we're going to use this Ash here on Foolish Burial, and then you're going to see they're going to then play... They drew their Branded Fusion in their 55-card deck, and we are going to use our Omni Negate to stop that, and then they're going to end up ending the turn. Now, going second with this deck also has a lot of pop-off potential, because between Dark Magician being able to spam out monsters, between being able to spam out your Kashtira monsters, we were able to get a lot of damage on the board very, very quickly. So here you're going to see I'm going to summon Dark Magician. I have Soul Servant now. I could have summoned out Mahad, and they're going to end up scooping it up. So this deck has some potential. So as I was just saying, the potential of this deck is very, very high. Obviously, there's going to be more Kashtira support that comes out. I'm going to continue to tinker with the deck. So far, this has been a good build, because between the level 7s that you could work on that easily summon themselves, between the Dark Magician ratios that you could use for this deck, it's very, very particular on how you build it and how you play it. But I definitely think that this deck can have potential. I definitely think that this deck can be as good or better than the branded DM deck that we were previously using in the previous seasons of Master Duel. Now, as you can see here, we're going up against Spright, and we have Dark Ruler No More. And this right here almost instantly wins us the game. Dark Ruler No More against Spright stops them almost dead in their tracks. We're going to use Unicorn, and we're going to bait out an Ash. Now, I already have Kashtira Birth in my hand. It's a good thing I use this Unicorn effect here. So then they wasted their Ash, essentially. I'm going to use the effect to get rid of one of their gigantic sprites. I'm going to play my Birth. I'll use Rod to search for Circle. So now I already have Magician Souls in hand. I'm going to summon DM, and I'm going to get a pop. I'm not worried about the monsters on the field. Like I said, they can't activate their effects, so I'm going to start going for the back row. They're going to activate Crossout Designator, does nothing. And then I'm going to use Kashtira Burst effect, because they activated a spell to get rid of some Spright cards from their graveyard. So now if they were to play Spright Smashers, they can't. Now this is a big card I always go into with this deck is Eben. Eben allows me obviously to have another banish whenever DM declares an attack. So I'm going to go for this back row card. They probably should have stopped me with this called by earlier when I was summoning my Dark Magician. But it's a good thing they're bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! We take those. We're going to banish that. I'm going to get rid of all these. I could have summoned back my Unicorn with Birth, but you're going to see here I wanted to get my last banish. My last banish here, I'm going to summon it back now. But my last banish here is to go into Chaos Angel. So I got a banish off of Circle, I got a banish off of Eben, and I get a banish off of Chaos Angel. So 3 banishes, and then also, just as insurance, we'll go into a 2 Mad Zeus. And yeah, it's only 2 materials, but all you need is the 1 board wipe. And now, you know, we essentially cleared their board. They have 1 card to hand, and that's GG's from there. So yeah, like I said, the pop-up potential of this deck is real. Definitely, I would side in Dark Ruler, because it definitely, you know, has its uses. Against a lot of the decks that we see in the meta, it could stop a lot of them and allow us to play. So there we go, Kash DM, baby. All right, so we've made it this far in, and we have not shown the primary power of Kash. You're probably wondering, Maddie, where's the zone locks? Here it is. I'm going to show you. We're going to summon out our Ogre, use Ogre to search for preparation. Then I'm going to use Sacred Sword of 7 stars. This lets me banish a level 7 and draw 2 cards. I'm going to chain my Soul Servant to put Mahad to the top of my deck. So now I get to summon out Mahad, And then I have Kashtira Birth in hand. I'll use Birth's effect to special summon Ogre. I'll use Birth's other effect to normal summon this without tributing. Then I'll use my Magician Souls to summon out Dark Magician. So now look at the board. I have 4 level 7s to make plays with. I have Soul Servant here. You're going to see draw power is key. We're going to add Birth to thin our deck. We're going to use Soul Servant to draw 2 cards. So now we're just making sure we have that hand advantage. We're going to go into Shangri, then we're going to go into Diablosis and start locking some zones. We're going to banish a card out of their extra deck. I see they're playing Pearly. I'm going to banish 2 zones. I have Preparation set so that I know I can go into 2 more Kashtira cards. Unfortunately, though, when I activate Shangri's effect during the standby phase, they do play Ash, which is fine. So now I summon out my Fenrir. Okay? Unfortunately for me, I put Fenrir in a bad zone. Very stupid of me, but it really doesn't end up being a problem. We're going to use Fenrir's effect to banish their field spell because that's very important to them. And we're going to lock another zone. Then Diablosis triggers because the card was banished face down. And we're going to lock another zone. So now they have 1 monster zone. They're going to try to make plays. They're going to realize they really can't do much with 1 monster zone. And then they're going to go into Relinquished Anima here and take my Fenrir. Which, yes, this was a misplay by me putting it here. However, it really didn't matter because you're going to see here, they're going to end up scooping it up. We would have ended up locking up all their zones had they not. The pop-off potential between the Dark Magician and the Kashtira synergy that you have, being able to summon out all those level 7s, is very beneficial for this deck. It's kind of crazy how much you could do with it. Alright guys, this is the part you've been waiting for, the deck list. I will say this deck has seen a lot of iterations. I think this is the best one that we've came up with so far. I'm going to go over some key points to it. One thing that I will say that helped a lot with consistency, because that's the biggest hindering factor to this deck. When it pops off, I think it's better than even the branded DM deck that we were running previously. But when it is, you know, bricking, it really hurts. Something that helped a lot is going second. I added in Dark Ruler No More. I felt like this, along with the Ash and Maxi, kind of gives me a chance going second. Also, Secret Village. This is a going first card. This wins me duels single-handedly. Unfortunately, I wish Master Duel was a best of 3, because if I'm going second, I wouldn't play Secret Village. But you gotta play just with Makonko and Pearly. It really hurts those decks. Besides that, I will say, let's see, I play 2 Soul Servants. Like I said in previous videos, Soul Servant does nothing by itself. I do use it a lot to summon out Mahad if Dark Magician's on the field or in the graveyard, so that's big. And then I cut Sacred Sword from 3 to 2. If you could fit it at 3, it's an easy draw 2, and it actually has great synergy with if you have Unicorn on the field. I'm sorry, if you have Birth on the field, you can summon back out whatever you banished with Sacred Sword, if it's a Kashtira monster, that is. But, like I said, I cut it to 2 because I had to make space for some other stuff. I think these are the ratios that work for me. I also will say I play Pankratops and Ascendant of Thunder. Those are the level 7s that I play that are not Dark Magician or Kashtira monsters. Pankratops is a powerhouse, gives me a free pop. And Ascendant of Thunder is just easy to summon. It costs 3,000 life points. I did play Danger Nessie in the past. I also played Astro Karibo. I felt like sometimes their effects would hurt me. Astro Karibo locks me into number monsters. And Danger Nessie, if my hand is low, then sometimes I will discard the Danger Nessie and it won't be able to be special summoned. So that sucks if that's the case. Baronne de Fleur, I actually go into a lot because if I have Ash Blossom in hand turn 1, and I can easily summon out a level 7, I'll go into Baronne de Fleur. We obviously know that's a powerhouse. And shockingly, I go into Ebon Illusion a lot. I didn't expect it to be so helpful, but it is such a good card because it, 1, lets me get a level 7 out with Dark Magician, and also 2, it gives me a banishment when I attack with Dark Magician. So it's a very good effect. And then I also have Red Eyes Flare Metal to finish off games. Zeus is there as insurance if I need a nuke a board just once. And then I play the 2 Shangri and the 2 Diablosis. Obviously, those are the key points to the deck for locking out zones. Guys, this is the deck that I've been rocking with. I like it so far. Honestly, I will say, I've been able to get to Diamond 1 faster with this deck than I was with the branded deck. But as I mentioned earlier, consistency is key. Maybe we'll find some other changes to make to it. If you guys play Kash DM, let me know in the comments below what you play and what changes you've made to this deck to make it more consistent. I'd love to hear it. I will definitely answer all the comments below if you guys leave any. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourself and go out of your way to make some of these days special.